Okay, so today what we're gonna do, one second, turn this off. Okay, so what I'm gonna do today is I'm going to show you a little bit about Film Freeway. This is mostly for my students, but anybody might be able to find this helpful. So essentially this is my Film Freeway profile. And what you can do is you have a few different options here. You can browse the festivals. You can, let's see, I'm just gonna make sure this is working right. Hello, 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 testing. Okay, I'm assuming this is right. Make sure it's running on YouTube too. So it's taping. I have class in about an hour. Let's see. All right, first time I'm trying to do it this way. Okay, live streaming. Okay, so that means it should be right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, great. Okay, so essentially you have browse festivals, which essentially is that. So what you can do is you can go here to browse festivals. Let's say you are looking for a local festival. I'm in Buffalo. So I'm going to look for festivals that are local to Buffalo. So I go Buffalo, and there are a bunch that show up. I just do this, and they will have a list of Buffalo. So for example, the Buffalo Dreams Fantastic Film Festival. I love this festival. I submit to it every time I get a chance. It's one of my favorites. You can favorite to it. And you have the Great Lakes Christian Film Festival, the Buffalo International Film Festival, Buffalo Niagara Film Festival, some other ones. This one just finished, the NCCC. So we'll look at it and we'll look at the, let's look at Buffalo Dreams. So here's Buffalo Dreams. So if you want to submit, best thing to do is you look at it and they have what it's about. They have all the deadlines here. I'm actually hoping to submit to this festival. I just submitted one film to it, and I have another film that I'm hoping will be finished in time for the extended deadline because it's going to be running late. It has all this information about it. Buffalo Dreams has been around for a little bit, for 7 years. It'll tell you how long it's been running here. This is really important because typically if you don't want to send to a film festival, it's only been running for like a year that has a high entrance fee. This one's been running for 7 years, and actually I think it was running before then under a different name. Yeah, it says 10th year right here. Anyway, so it's run by filmmakers. This is a great film festival. It has some information here, lots of information. You want to go to the rules. Very important to go ahead and look at the rules here. For any film festival that you're looking at, the reason you want to do this is, let's say you have this really great film you've been working on, especially if it's a feature film or if it's a really high quality short film, or a series. You want to make sure that you kind of time everything properly. So kind of target which film festivals you really want to submit your stuff to, and then work your production dates around that, because some of these film festivals like Buffalo Dreams have very strict rules about, like, you can't put it on YouTube, or you know, it needs to be, let's say, a Western New York screening, or maybe a worldwide premiere, depending on which film festival it is. So that's very important. Over here on the right side, you'll see that you have dates and deadlines. Those are extremely important. I typically have like a running list of film festivals that are pretty important that I want to submit to on the side in a separate file. So I know what I'm submitting to every year. I love submitting to this one. I also submit to NCCC because the Film and Animation Festival, because I have a chance to kind of go to it and meet other filmmakers. Okay, so then they'll have reviews. That was my review from, I put in a couple weeks ago. And then you also have some photos, which are always fun. You can see the photos of the kind of films that they have. The good thing about this is that, oh, okay, hold up. Dang it. All right, let me see. Let me redo this real quick. Okay, so I'm going to redo this. Okay. All right. So this should be a new live stream. All right, starting again. Sorry about that, anybody who's watching. So as I said, Film Freeway. This is a really important film festival website. A lot of, you can submit your films online here. So what you're gonna do is, let's see, browse. And if you wanna look for a Buffalo Film Festival, like I said before, you could just do this. And then there's numerous ones that come up. We'll click on Buffalo Dreams again. And like I said, let's see, let's click on, okay. Sorry, I have a class. I want to make sure that, let's do this. Okay. All right. Sorry about the interruption there. Make sure everything looks right. Looks good. Okay. So as I was saying, Film Freeway is a great website to submit your films online. This is for my class. This is why I'm doing it this way. So I'm trying to make it a little more succinct. So essentially, you can look up an area. So there's like several different film festivals that'll pop up. There's Buffalo Dreams, Great Lakes Christian Film Festival, Buffalo International, NCCC. Just finished. What you can do is you can click on View Festival, and you'll have the About. So they have information about the film festival. They also will have rules. Now, some of these you really need to be able to read. For example, you have to, sometimes these film festivals will require that you have absolutely no premieres, or it's not submitted on YouTube, or no one has seen it, or only private screenings, or sometimes they want to have like a local premiere. So for example, Buffalo Dreams Fantastic Film Festival wants to have a Western New York premiere. So if you've shown it in like Wichita, Kansas, they probably will accept your film if it's a good film. But if you have already shown it in Buffalo, they don't want to have it in their festival because there's too much competition already between the film festivals. And so it's really important that you have your film, you read every instruction. This also includes that some of these will require you to submit DVDs or Blu-rays or specific resolutions. Most are okay with just online with Film Freeway nowadays, or Without a Box is another option. Some take Dropbox and other options too. However, you want to make sure that you follow their rules. You also can see here on the right of the webpage, you could add entries and deadlines right here. So this film festival just happened this Saturday on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. And so this were their different dates. And then you see what they have, their different animations. So this is a very affordable festival. It's mostly for students, even though I do have stuff that I submit there from my film classes sometimes. And so you see all the different options they have here. You can see their different categories. You can also see they have listings of other festivals you might be interested in. Some reviews in the bottom. On the right here, it's very important to look at how many years running the festival is. The reason you want to do that is that if you have a festival that's charging you, let's say $50 to submit a film, but they've only been around for a year, be very leery unless you personally are affiliated with it. Because film festivals, it's very easy for folks to kind of set these festivals up, have, hundreds of people submit, charge a lot of money, and then at the end, they close up at the end of the year, or they don't accept a lot of films, or they've chosen the films beforehand. I'm also a musician, so as a musician and a filmmaker, I've run into those scenarios before where people are just trying to make money off of people that are creative, and that's not fair. So just be wary of that when you do things. This is not one of those. This is run by the Niagara Community College and their film department and animation department there, so it's very student friendly. They actually had their filmmaker of the year for this past year was actually a local filmmaker who is only 19 years old. So they're very supportive of student films in this particular festival. So when you look at festivals, you have all kinds of options. You can look at those that are open and they're closed, which means whether or not they're accepting submissions now or not. You can look at ones that are only open. So that means that one would just disappear. So these are still have options right now in the Buffalo area. And then you can look at the different kinds of events. For example, if you're a screenwriter, there's options too. If you want inside the US, Canada, whatever. Category type, so let's say you only do animation, then whatever film festivals that do animation that are open right now, and then you can also look at the entry fees. This is great because especially if you're starting out and you don't have that, feature film that like is going to wow people all over the world, you don't want to spend a ton of money on it at the outset probably. So you can go ahead and sit down and do the slider all the way to zero. My only problem with the zero film festivals, those are mostly online film festivals or like film clubs that are just looking for things to screen, which is a lot of fun. I mean, I've sent stuff to them too, because it's kind of fun to think, oh, wow, somewhere in London, like somebody's looking at my horror film for some reason. And that's kind of fun. But, you probably want to put the slider, if you're just starting out, I would say at 40 or less. And that's pretty, I would say, bigger festivals, it's worth it to spend, especially if you can attend and take advantage of all the networking and all the media attention. You know, if you're not going to attend, if it's not a festival you really, really want to get into, if it's just something you're submitting on, you know, for a whim, you know, stay a little bit on the lower end of things. These higher end ones should only be for films that you have that are phenomenal, and then also have, you know, affiliation with like the Oscars and the Academy, or maybe our film markets, or just something like, you know, Toronto Film Festival, where if you go there, it's extremely huge. You want to look at the years running. Like I said, usually I try to stay away from stuff that's, you know, only a year, because sometimes it's a little, you know, unless they don't have a, you know, if they're like barely charging anything for it, or, you know, something run by a club or a university or whatever, it's fine. But, you know, if you're trying to be really picky about where you submit this stuff, you know, try to stick to something that's been around for at least a few years. And then you can go ahead and put down how long your project is. So if you have, you know, a project that's a whole 2 hours, or maybe your project's only 35 minutes long or whatever. And then you have options for dates there too. You can also look at, they have all kinds of different options here, to kind of tell you where to send stuff, you know, so like sci-fi, short films, tickets, yada, yada, yada. Then you have your dashboard, which will tell you how many submissions you've sent and how many have been selected, yada, yada. I just submitted like 20 like a week or two ago, so that's why this looks so crazy. And so, plus this is not the only way that I submit things. You know, this looks really bad. It's like only 9 have been selected ever. That's not true. And then that's just 9 out of the ones I've submitted through this website. Anyway, so you have your films here, and you can add a project, and then you just add it in there. It takes a little bit of time to do this, so give yourself, you know, about a half an hour to an hour to fill out all this information, and then also give yourself overnight to upload your film, depending on how big it is. And then you can look at your submissions and stuff. So like I said, I just submitted a ton, you know, that are, you know, in different whatever, and stuff. So it'll tell you if it's been selected, if it's not selected, if it's in consideration, if you are awarded or whatever. It'll give you, like, it'll tell you if it's awarded or not, and that kind of thing. Most of these here that I submitted to are like freebies. So freebies have so many people submitting to it that a lot of times they don't get in, but I just had a couple films that I had that I wanted to get out anywhere. So anyway, so that's pretty easy. And then here, if you have any notifications that something gets selected, if there's been updated, if you have some favorite festivals that you really want to get into, let's say you really wanted to get into the Toronto one. Toronto, do I know how to spell? I don't know how to spell Toronto. Toronto. There we go. So if you wanted to get like into this one, you can, you know, favorite it or whatever. Like if you wanted to favorite that one, you could put on your watch list, you could favorite it. And then what'll happen is that if anything changes with them, they'll show up in here. So if they have upcoming deadlines, or if something's been selected, or yada, yada. Okay. So anyway, so that is pretty easy how to submit. Some other options you can do up here too, besides location, you can do science fiction. Well, I mean, you already kind of have that option on the side there, but if you're really like into science fiction, like festivals, and you're like, I just want to do sci-fi, then there's a whole bunch that'll be listed there. If you're a woman, you can look up film festivals that are about supporting women. If you are of a certain nationality, let's say, I don't know, let's say Italian, then there's Italian film festivals. There are Latino film festivals. There are, I don't know if China has some. I would assume that they would have there. You can, you know, do China. You know, you could do, I don't know, certain languages. I don't know if they would have French. Let's see. French Riviera. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of specific. There's also film festivals like that are really about trying to change the world. And so a lot of these are under the documentaries, and some of these, let's see, these are not examples, but some of these will actually, you know, like for example, this is, you know, human rights. And so a lot of these actually will try to have very specific like reasons for existing, to try to help bring, you know, light to certain subjects, whether it's environmentalism, whether it's about a war, whether it's about certain social issues, whether it's about a specific region, whatever, if it's about a specific culture within a specific region. And so you can kind of look stuff up that way, you know. You can also kind of, I think you could do like high school maybe. no, high school, maybe student films. Do student films, and it'll kind of have student film festivals, of which there are a lot. And I recommend, even if you're a high schooler, just submit away. It's a lot of fun, especially if you can submit to ones that are local that you can attend. Anyway, I hope that's really helpful, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to do more of this live stuff. I'm getting better at it. Still not sure if I like the platform I'm using. I'm using Stage 10, so not really sure if I like that yet. But anyway, so that's about it. So I'm going to end this broadcast, but thank you so very much for being here. Yay. All right.